doing a number of things like this, just trying to pull through. I'm involved with Sunlight Foundation. Their mission is to create a network of websites which show how money is used in Washington. Let's say what lobbyists do and what their money gets them in terms of favors, legislation, contracts. This is part of the transparency effort, which is now a central part of the program of this guy named Obama, because I was a very, very minor part of that effort. And I'm now pushing ahead with the whole idea of transparency, working with some people here who are actually really much smarter than I am, much more connected. But the deal is that what I've decided is that, and again, I'll just indulge myself for a few more moments. What I figure is that I do need to get out more, so it would be nice to get out and help save the world. But again, I'm too lazy, and I'm really just not smart enough. So work with people who are doing really good stuff, which have a big effect, and that can work out pretty well. Because I do feel that, remember, face-to-face social networking doesn't scale, and we've had that not only for commerce, but when people talk about grassroots democracy, I mean, a couple hundred years ago, the founders of this country created a system of representative democracy. It did have some deep flaws, but with some fixes, it's worked out okay. But the grassroots democracy stuff, people getting together like for the PTA, you can never get together more than hundreds of people at a time until we got this internet thing. Now we got grassroots efforts which involve millions of people. And the idea is to make that a part of day-to-day governance, not just transparency, but as simple as getting a pothole filled, like 311. And the idea is that how do we build internet-based grassroots democracy in daily governance through the whole country? So I've been saying that this year is the new 1776. 1787 was the year when we got this Constitution thing. Deeply flawed in some ways, but with some patches, has given us a decent, though flawed, system of representative democracy. Now, I'm hoping 2009 will be the new 1787, and we'll be able to build a system which gives all a voice. And that's not going to be tough. I'm sorry, that is going to be very tough. When you have millions of people who want to have a voice in making things better, how do you work that? Well, there are people working on that now. It's still fairly amorphous. There are some good ideas, but the idea is to make it real, and there are people like me who are really committed to that. I mean, that's community organizing with a vengeance, because I'm too lazy to do it when it's face-to-face and involved. Well, actually getting physically involved, that's difficult. But one very attractive thing about the kind of customer service I do and the kind of community organizing I do is that I don't have to lift my butt from my chair, and that's very attractive.
Well, you've actually transitioned into my question perfectly. I was just interested in learning.
You're welcome.
Just interested in learning a little more about your thoughts and plans around specifically leveraging technology like Craigslist, a community like Craigslist, to promote service and volunteerism on the internet.
Okay. I'm thinking about this again because there is this guy with that funny name who talked about, I mean, this is about 9 months ago, a Craigslist for volunteering. Well, that statement will come due in the near future. And what does it mean? Well, that might exist already. I need to start looking at things like volunteermatch.org or whatever. But the idea is, again, my observation is that people do want to work together to make things better. So maybe I got to look into that and then propose it to the people I worked with, and then be really, really persistent. Really not annoying, although I may get close to that. But like the prayer says, I'm stubborn as those garbage bags which time cannot decay. And
That's very touching.
look that one up. You'll see where I'm coming from. He also wrote something about Chelsea Hotel. The old folks may get that one. In fact, if you do get it, that means you are old. But But the idea is that real stuff is happening now, and the idea is to follow through.
Well, I guess it's kind of a continuation of that question in the sense that are you that against like banner ads, or is that so fundamentally against what Craigslist is that you wouldn't allow like certain NGOs or like groups that have a good cause as deemed by you to, you know, use a little bit of your site to generate a lot more visitors and hits, you know, for their cause?
The question is, again, should we be using the site like that to promote these good causes? Maybe we should find a way. A problem that we have is that there are so many of them asking for that kind of thing, and we have no means of vetting them. So I like the idea, but we don't have a really good way to do it, and so we're kind of paralyzed in that regards.
Well, you know, since we are a program on social entrepreneurship, and you've had a vast amount of experience now with this, I'm curious about what you would tell our young people about where the most exciting areas seem to be from a perspective like yours. Like, where can they go with all of this? Because there are people in here that really want to make a difference in social entrepreneurship.
I don't have any answers yet, and I don't want to rock the boat unnecessarily. The idea is I do think we're going to see a call to service on the part of the Obama administration. That will take multiple forms. There will be efforts where people can devote time to things. There will be efforts where people can devote money for things. Something else I push is, and possibly as a model, is donorschoose.org. The deal there is that if you're a teacher, you can describe a classroom project you need some money for, and you can say, hey, here's the project, here's how much we need, and we can all contribute money in small amounts to fund the project. If you look again on cnewmark.com on the right-hand side, you'll see I have this not very successful Donors Choose Challenge, but people can actually contribute to it and help out some teachers. If you want to contribute 20 bucks, that works. I'm also a big believer in the sense of in microfinance, and I'm focusing work on kiva.org. The idea is that you give them 20 bucks or 100 or whatever, and you can help out someone else in the world somewhere who may need to start a business, 100 bucks or maybe 1,000, maybe a little more. Frankly, at some point, sometime this month, that I hope to have a connection with an effort on the ground in the Mideast. But I heard that first about 10 months ago, so I'm still crossing my fingers. Yeah, that's happening a lot slowly. So there will be different ways that people can do things, small and large. Some may require actual physical activity. But again, remember that for many people, if you're working 2 jobs, especially if you're working 2 jobs and have a couple kids you're trying to raise, you don't have time to get out and volunteer. And even if you're working hard 1 job, you know, you may not have the time to get out and volunteer. So there are other ways of helping and getting together with people.